All right. It's hot. As you can see, I'm wearing shorts because it's hot. Shorts and Crocs. Look at that. Look at that. Texas, baby. But anyways, working on the Mustang today. What is that too? Looks like a spacer. Working on the Mustang today. I got the wiring ran. I got the intake on it. I got the spacers in for the injectors. That's on. Throttle body's on. Balancer's on. Everything's plugged in. Really now, we're gonna start on getting the turbo kit and stuff put on it. Get the turbo on the front, get the drain, get the line, the feed line, and then I got the fuel filter mounted. I did order a different fuel pump setup for the fuel cell. So I'll go in there and have a fill spout. Be a whole lot easier. So I went ahead and did that. And so really, all we gotta do is put some fuel to it and some power to it, and we might be able to get her to fire off. But nonetheless, we're gonna get the turbo on it. And oh, we gotta build a transmission cross member. I keep forgetting I don't have one in this car, so I gotta build one. It is what it is. So let's get the turbo on it. So luckily for me, it's all pretty easy. I got a, I want to say it's a 66 millimeter blow-off valve. I don't know. She big. She real big. Hot. I think these are 11. Yeah, I knew that. My wrist popped. Well, I didn't film a whole lot, but I got a lot done, so that kind of counts for something, don't it? But here we go. The radiator is just kind of in there. I got the turbo mounted. I got the boost controller mounted. Cool. I need to get a spark plug for over there, so I didn't put that cover on to remind myself of that. And then on the inside, I got the terminator mounted, coil drivers, fuse, and relay. So I didn't like half-ass mount that, but I kind of half-ass mounted that because more than likely I'm going to go to a Dominator, so I didn't want to get too crazy with that. The power I'm going to run through the inside of the car. I'm probably gonna put the battery there, or I might move it up there. I want it where it's kind of easy access. So that's where we're at. Fuel line stuff should be here, I think, within the next 2 days. I gotta get 2 1/2-inch MPT to -10 AN line fittings. I gotta get 2 of those adapters, 3 of those adapters, my bad, 3. But let's take a moment and appreciate these new lights. Look at these new lights. Look at that. I gotta do that one. Tombstone's broken in the way, so yeah. There you go. So it really helps out a lot in here. Like, I have been struggling with lights in this shop for the longest time. Kinda, I don't know. This is like my third, fourth set, something to put in here. But anyways, back to in here. I made a transmission mount. It's not the fanciest. I made it real simple, just got the job done. But like I said, that wiring's in here. I got this switch panel right here for everything else. So either I need to put the dash in it so I can mount that, or just kind of half-ass mount that. We'll see. We'll see where things go. But it's late, and for tonight, I'm gonna call it a day. Call it a night. I don't know. Oh, another thing I figured out. So 2 things I realized. This ain't gonna work. So I need the Cobra one where it kind of swoops out there, goes to there. And then my spacing where my tensioner goes, I don't know. I'm gonna have to buy the tensioner and see what happens. Hopefully it works. But, oh, and then I had to reclock my blow-off valve, or my wastegate, sorry. I had to reclock my wastegate. I feel like I called that a blow-off valve earlier. That's a wastegate, guys. So, that's where we're at. Hopefully this week we can fire this thing up. Obviously it's not gonna be fired up under boost or with boost pipes hooked up. I don't know, whatever you wanna call it. It's gonna be fired up NA with a turbo as a muffler. That's what we're going for. And it's hot. Like, spicy hot. I've been wearing shorts and stuff all day. My shirt is like filthy. Got my kicks on. So, see y'all tomorrow. We're back in the shop, and I got some rigging going on. We're gonna see if we can get it to crank over. I still don't have the, what was that thing called? The fuel pumps. Need the fuel pumps. So we can't start it, but I got my AN lines. I got those on the turbo drain, oil filter. I need an oil filter too, actually, come to think of it. So I got a power wire ran all the way back here to the back. It is way too long, but I don't want to. Cicada. So I got that ran to there. As you can see, this is Terminator. So we gotta get a ground to the chassis, and then from the engine to the chassis. And then we can whack the starter button and see if it does anything, if it cranks over. I started thinking about it. This starter that I have in here, I think it's the starter from Gilligan when I first got it, and I want to say the starter went bad. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I think this is the starter from Gilligan. The starter went bad, so I stole this one starter and put it on Gilligan. So we might have a bad starter, but I really don't remember. So I'm gonna get this in the air, get a chassis ground put on it, and hook up a ground in the rear and press the starter button and see what happens. So really, I mean, it has solid engine mounts, but there's a bunch of powder coat and stuff, so I don't know how well of contact it's making. But the bolts broke off in there. Lovely. What was I saying? What is it? Oh my God. Find some wire. Me again. We got two options. We got option 1 and option 2. But both options are red, so we'll go with option 2. I really don't know where I have the good ground, because I got paint and everything on all this stuff. Paint, powder coat, boop. Boop. Go with there. Where am I gonna put it to the chassis? Right there at that little filler. I don't know what you do, but you're gonna be a ground spot. So we take this ground wire that's red, put a bolt through it. Don't hand start it. I mean, really, if you squint, ain't that bad. Now for my next trick, we take this. Don't want no wires showing. Don't want to be trashy. Put that right there. Let me take this. That's as good as putting an eyelet on there. Look at that. Chassis ground. Told you, if you squint, it ain't that bad. So So over here in the back, all I had was a red power cable. So that's gonna be our new ground. Just look at it as like theft prevention, right? Just don't cross the reds. That rear end is gonna do a whole lot of good, right? Does a whole lot of good. Should probably build that. So over here in the back, we got our ground. All right. Kind of loose. Get a 1/2 inch. Found one, but it was only half of one. I got half of a 1/2 inch. Anyways, terrible joke. Terrible. This is in my way. This is ground, right? Okay. I'm about to stick a screw in this thing. Nope, there we go. We're getting tight. It didn't want to get screwed. Okay, that's tight. Grab my 10. That's, I guess, tight. Yeah. Okay, let's hit the starter button. The starter, roll cages, my goodness. The starter, I don't know if it's any good. So, really, I mean, if we hit the starter button, it should crank. Should. Is it? I don't know. But, Hey, y'all remember that one I told you was missing our spark plug? It's still missing a spark plug. At least we know we're making compression. So, the car cranks. The starter seemed fine. I'm standing outside the windshield and I don't know how to get out. I feel like a lost kid. I don't feel like this is the right way to get out of a car. So, okay. It cranks. Actually, I'm gonna pull this one out so we don't blow the boot off it. Crank it a little bit. And I also just remembered something. Okay, I don't have an oil filter on it. So for a second there, it was probably, a couple more cranks, I probably would have spit some oil out of this thing. So, we're cranking. That's good. So now, we're gonna go back to the back, disconnect the battery. Because really, all we need to do, what size is that? Oh, I bet it's a 3/8. So many people talk about how they have a hard time with their 10 millimeters and stuff. I don't know about y'all, but I have a hard time with 3/8. And come to think of it, I had to find this 3/8, so how did I even tighten that? I don't know, it's a mystery. So now, what we'll do, we will wire up the power trigger to the Holly, pop a screen in it, pop power to there, and see if we have power to the Holly, because if we have power to the Holly, I just looked up shipping, and it shows in the next 2 days, the fuel pump setup should get here. So once we get the fuel pump, I need to get a I need to get a, what's it called? A oil filter. I need to get an oil filter for this tomorrow. No, I don't remember what oil filter it is. I don't know. Oil filter, and a spark plug, because, you know, blew out the spark plug. So let's get the Holly wired real quick. So you may be asking, why did you mount that like that? Easy access. So that's where the lights. All right, so I need these two right here. I'm not gonna shorten any of this, because more than likely, actually not more likely, this is not the permanent fix for it, I guess you could say. That worked great. Good thing there's more. Yeah, what now, sucker? Wait. Give me that. That's what happened. I didn't crimp nothing. Okay. Well. Crimp that. What is blue? Tack. Not important. We ain't worried about that where we're going. So, we got that. We need fuses. Guess who's got fuses? This guy. 30 amp. You're getting a 30. Maybe not. You're getting a 30. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Hey, Riley. Green is fuel pump. I know that. Tack, power, power. All right, so we should be good there. Hook power up back to the battery. Hook up the other stuff, the power and ground to that. Plug in the dash, or plug in the screen. See if we got power to the terminator. I feel like we were just back here. What? This has one of those? Dang, I gotta find one of those. And it goes on, but I think this is way too big for this. Let's see. Just like that. Oh, you know what? Not to brag or anything, but I got another side post. Alright. Power, ground. Wait a second. Almost flip-flopped myself. Alright, so side post there. Other side post there. Okay. So, this is super uncomfortable. This plugs in here, just like so. So actually, whenever I flip this switch, it should come on. We got power, boys! To perform. Alright, TPS auto set took that time. It has a tune loaded in the car. I have it set up for NA right now. For one, I didn't think about it till like just this moment, but I don't have a map sensor on this thing. All I got is the internal 1 bar, so I couldn't start it up under boost if I wanted to. Not a big deal. But got a tune in it, set for 60 PSI. I picked the 48-pound injectors because these are the biggest injectors Holley sells. So I'm pretty sure these are the right ones. 60 pounds of fuel pressure, everything. So base map, everything's set up, ready to fire. Really just need to get fuel to it. Get fuel to it, fuel filter on it, definitely get a spark plug in it. And then she's ready to fire. And once she fires, that'll make me happy, right? And hopefully some parts will be in for the Duke by then. Should be. Yeah. All right, well, we're off to a good start here. I think we're off to a good start. So really, like I said, all we need is some fuel to it. We got power, we got everything. Starter sounds good. I really don't remember why I took it off of Gilligan, but for some reason I did. I thought it was bad. I don't know, maybe I had a bad ground. We all know I got a good ground on this bad boy. So that's gonna do it for this one. What we're gonna do is on the next one, we'll do the fuel system. We'll put some fuel to this thing, see if it'll fire off. So I'm excited, I really am. I've had this car for a very long time. Actually, some of you might not know this, but this is actually my very first car. I'll throw a picture of it up right here. So that's what the car looked like when me and my dad bought it back in 2003, I think it was. The car wasn't very old when we got it, it's a 93. We bought it for $350 from what we call, I don't think we still have it anymore. It's like a local newspaper called the Thrifty Nickel. And that's where this car came from. Had grass growing around it. It was a 4-cylinder car. I drove it to high school. I drove it a little bit after high school. I V8 swapped it. The car's had like 5 different engines, but in the past like 10, 12 years, I haven't done anything with the car because I painted it this color, as you can see. I painted it this graphite slate gray. I mean, it's a nice color, but once I painted the car, it put a bad taste in my mouth. I didn't like it from that point on. So here we are, we're getting my first car up and going. So in the next one, we're starting this car. So there you go. Till next time.